iPhone 16 versus iPhone 15. Should you upgrade? Peace be upon you, my dear friends and followers of the channel. How are you today? I hope you are well and in good health. Today with you is a beautiful, new and important video for everyone. This video will be titled, but before watching the video, subscribe to the channel and like and share so that it reaches the largest number of people. Now let us follow the video and I hope if you like it. If you currently own Apple's 2023 flagship phone and are debating whether it's worth upgrading to the latest iPhone 16, you've come to the right place. We've reviewed the iPhone 16 and compared it to the iPhone 15 so you can decide whether or not you should upgrade to the latest model. If you want to see how the iPhone 16 compares to other phones from Apple, be sure to check out our iPhone 16 vs iPhone 14 and iPhone 16 vs iPhone 13 reviews. Design: the iPhone 16 has two additional buttons, Action and Camera Control. The iPhone 15 retains the traditional ring key. The iPhone 16's rear cameras are placed vertically while the iPhone 15's rear cameras are diagonal. At first glance, some might think that the design of the iPhone 16 has not changed from the iPhone 15, as it features the same flat edges and rounded corners. However, look closely and you'll see a number of key differences. First, instead of the ring key found on the iPhone 15, and all iPhone models before it, there's the Action button that was first introduced on the iPhone 15 Pro series. The Action button can be customized and acts as a shortcut to various functions, including opening apps, controlling smart home devices, and more. The iPhone 16 also includes a new Camera Control button, which is used to open the phone's camera and adjust camera settings. How useful this button is may come down to personal preference, as we found that it took longer to use the Camera Control button than just tapping on the screen. Flip the two iPhones over and you'll notice that the rear camera design is slightly different. While the iPhone 15's two lenses are diagonally parallel, the iPhone 16's two lenses are vertically parallel to help improve spatial video capture. Color options also vary depending on the iPhone. While the iPhone 15 favors lighter shades including pink, yellow, green, and blue as well as matte black, the iPhone 16 features bolder colors including black, white, pink, teal, and navy blue. Other than that, both the iPhone 16 and iPhone 15 have an IP68 dust and water resistance rating along with ceramic shield on the front. Winner, iPhone 16 screen. Both phones have 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR displays. Apple still reserves its ProMotion technology for the Pro models. The iPhone 16 can reach 1 nit of minimum brightness. The iPhone 16's display is essentially identical to the iPhone 15's, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Both phones feature a great screen that works well in all use cases but especially when watching movies and gaming, where colors are vibrant and blacks have good contrast. Both phones have a peak brightness of 2000 nits and a dynamic island that was previously reserved for the iPhone 14 Pro series. The dynamic island acts as an additional space for useful information from compatible apps, like watching Now, playing from Spotify, and following directions with maps. Another similarity, which disappointed us last year and again this year, is the lack of ProMotion technology, which basically means that neither iPhone has a 120Hz refresh rate, but is limited to just 60 Hz. This is a major omission, especially considering that most Android phones have a smoother 120Hz refresh rate, including even budget smartphones. Winner, iPhone 16 camera. iPhone 16 has a 48-megapixel Fusion main camera for better 2x optical zoom performance. The vertical alignment of the iPhone 16's rear lenses means it's better for spatial video and photos. Although both have a 12-megapixel ultra-wide lens, the iPhone 16 has a wider aperture. Like its predecessor, the iPhone 16 has a dual camera on the back, consisting of a 48-megapixel main camera and a 12-megapixel ultra-wide camera. However, the difference is that its 48MP main lens is a Fusion camera that offers 4-in-1 pixel binning technology and 2x digital zoom. The iPhone 15 also offers a 2x zoom feature, which is useful as the lack of a telephoto lens means the 2x zoom does a good job of bridging the gap between the camera and the subject. Although we enjoyed taking photos with the iPhone 15 and found that images looked more detailed and sharp than the iPhone 14, the iPhone 16 does feature some necessary improvements. Thanks to the new anti-reflective coating, the iPhone 16 reduces lens glare, which is a big problem we found with the iPhone 15. However, its 12MP ultra-wide camera has a narrower f/2.4 aperture compared to the iPhone 15's f/2.2 aperture, which allows less light to be captured. Overall, we found that both the iPhone 16 and iPhone 15 were able to capture detailed shots with excellent clarity, although some iPhone 16 photos tended to look a little oversaturated. In addition, they both provide a natural bokeh effect with a wide aperture. As mentioned earlier, the new vertical alignment of the iPhone 16 cameras means they're better for capturing spatial videos and photos, but that's only really important if you're using a mixed reality headset, like the Vision Pro, to view your content. Otherwise, you're unlikely to notice this difference. Both phones have the same 12-megapixel front camera, which we found to be one of the best selfie cameras thanks to its amazing levels of detail. In fact, mobile editor Louis Painter noted in his review of the iPhone 16 that many people are choosing to record video via the front camera for social media, and you can't say that about many phones. Speaking of video, both phones can record in either 4K at 60 fps or 4K at 30 fps with Dolby Vision HDR, which we described as one of the best video capture experiences ever. Winner, iPhone 16. Performance. Apple's A18 chip debuted with the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus. The iPhone 15 runs on the A16 that debuted in the iPhone 14 Pro series. The iPhone 16 supports Apple Intelligence, but the iPhone 15 does not. Apple introduced the A18 chip alongside the iPhone 16 and iPhone 16 Plus, while the iPhone 15 runs on the A16 Bionic processor, which debuted with a 2022 iPhone 14 Pro series. The A18 chip is a very powerful processor that we found to be on par with the A18 Pro replacement, found in the iPhone 16 Pro, and scored better than the top Android smartphone of 2024, the Red Magic 9's Pro. Not only is the A18 processor impressively fast and capable of handling anything from scrolling through apps to AAA games with ease, but unlike the A16 chip, it also supports Apple Intelligence. However, the iPhone 15 with the A16 is still a perfectly capable processor for everyday use, with quick opening of casual apps and games and smooth performance. The fact that the iPhone 15 doesn't support Apple Intelligence, which we'll talk about shortly, and the inability to play console-level AAA games are probably the biggest reasons to choose the iPhone 16 instead. Winner, iPhone 16. Software. Apple Intelligence only supports iPhone 16 at the time of writing. Apple Intelligence is limited with its rollout. Both should see many years of software updates. Undoubtedly the biggest reason to choose the iPhone 16 is Apple Intelligence, which is arguably the most anticipated software launch of 2024. Due to its less powerful processor, the iPhone 15 simply cannot support software. Apple Intelligence is essentially Apple's suite of iTools and includes features like ChatGPT integration, the all-new Siri, and much more. However, at the time of writing this article, not all Apple Intelligence features have been released and are currently only available in the US. Apart from Apple Intelligence, both phones have the iOS 18 software update that introduced useful features like RCS support for SMS and a fully customizable home screen and control center. Although Apple hasn't specified the exact number of software updates the phones will get, given that 2020's iPhone. Winner, iPhone 16. Battery. Both offer a maximum charging speed, wired, of 30 watts. When using MagSafe chargers, the iPhone 16 can be charged wirelessly at 25 watts. Both have USB-C ports. Being relatively small phones, just like the Pixel 9 and Samsung Galaxy S24, the iPhone 16 and iPhone 15 are naturally limited by how large their battery cells can actually be. We've found that the iPhone 16 can last all day on a single charge, albeit with only a small percentage left in the tank, which is the same case with the iPhone 15. However, lighter users may be able to skip a recharge until the next lunchtime. In our tests, We found that 60 minutes of Netflix drained the iPhone 16 battery by 7%, while the same amount of streaming drained the iPhone 15 battery by 8%. While both offer a maximum charging speed of 30 watts, we actually found that the iPhone 16 took 101 minutes to charge from 1 to 100%, while the iPhone 15 took slightly less time at 92 minutes. The iPhone 16 can also support up to 30 watts wireless charging using a MagSafe charger. Win or iPhone 16 judgment. Although at first glance it may seem that the iPhone 16 is relatively unchanged from the iPhone 15, there are several thoughtful improvements in offer, including a new chipset, faster wireless charging, and a new color range. Arguably the biggest reason to upgrade to the iPhone 16 from the iPhone 15 is to experience Apple's intelligence, as the iPhone 15 doesn't have a powerful enough processor to support the software. However, if you're not interested in Apple's intelligence suite, we'd advise against upgrading from the iPhone 15, as it remains a quite powerful and capable device for most users. At the end of the video, I thank you for watching and I hope you liked it, and see you in a new video.